अंदर भी बहुत बार the pocket is under the bed.
क्यों करना इतना मुश्किल का?
इसी में तो मजा है। लाइट में ना साइलेंस से आता है।
हमारे एरिया में यहाँ से जैसे कोई लड़कियाँ कोई रनिंग नहीं करती है, वही बोलते कि भाई हाँ एक लड़की होगी क्या ही भागना, कोई आर्मी में जाना हो तभी भागते हैं, ऐसे तो नहीं भागते कोई। तो वैसा नहीं है क्योंकि मैं पूरा घर भी संभालती हूँ, शॉप संभालती हूँ और ऊपर से मैं ट्रेनिंग भी करती हूँ और जो अच्छे अच्छे रेसेस होते हैं उसमें पार्टिसिपेट भी करती हूँ। छोटी उम्र से ही मतलब बहुत स्ट्रगल किया है। जब मैं 15 ईयर की थी तब मेरा मैरिज हो गया था, तो मतलब लाइफ जिया नहीं कुछ। डैडी का मतलब उनका शक्ल मुझे याद नहीं है, तो वही कि मैंने मतलब बचपन में जो जीना था वो मैंने लाइफ नहीं जिया। तभी मेरा एक रीज़न ये था कि मैं अभी इस लाइन में क्यों हूँ, तो मैं खुद को कभी इन चीज़ों से कुछ हटना नहीं चाहती थी मैं पीछे कि मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकती, कि मेरा लाइफ यही है कि सुबह से शाम तक यही काम करो और कुछ नहीं, इतना ही नहीं है मेरे लाइफ। आगे बारिश नहीं है। मुश्किलों का दिक्कत तो बहुत ज़्यादा हुआ मेरे को। मेरे पास जूते नहीं होते थे, अच्छे जूतियाँ नहीं होता था, तो मैं नॉर्मल जूते में ही रनिंग करती थी। इवेंट्स में मैं जीत जाती हूँ, चलो उसका जो मीनिंग प्राइस होता है वो मैं बचा के रखती हूँ ताकि मैं आगे रेस में लगा सकूँ उसको। तो हमारे यहाँ पे कोई रनिंग कम्युनिटी नहीं है, अकेली जाके रनिंग ट्रेनिंग करना पड़ता है और ना कोई गाइडेंस देने वाले हैं यहाँ पे कि भाई हाँ तंजीन आपको आप ये गलत कर रहे हो, ये सही है वैसा। हर एक रेसेस में होता है वैसे, जैसे एक मोमेंट हमारे को कि भाई हम एक सोच में पड़ जाते हैं कि भाई हाँ क्यों कर रहे हैं ये। मैं बोलती हूँ कि पागली है माँ कसम से, ऐसा कैसा वो करना, अब छोड़ भी नहीं सकते, देखो आधा रास्ते से वापस भी नहीं हो सकते, तो माइंड में भी बहुत सारा कुछ चलता है उस टाइम। तो क्यों कर रही हूँ इतना मुश्किल, भाई तेरे को क्या पड़ी इन चीज़ों की करने की। बारिश बर्फ़ में भागना आसान से कर सकते हैं इसमें, तो ये ही क्यों चुना, मतलब अब भुगतो खुद जब कर लिया तो फिर मैं खुद को ही कोसती हूँ।
ब्लैक कॉफी नहीं है? नहीं तारीफ हुई कैसी कसम से।
तो वही कि मैं उस टाइम यही बोली थी, तो इतना मतलब मुश्किल रेसेस करके आई है तो ये तो कर सकती है, तो ये अपना ही यहीं पे एरिया में हो रहा है कि गिव अप नहीं कर सकती बीच में, तो कंप्लीट करना ही पड़ेगा।
आपके पास तो नहीं है कोई जैकेट? चलेगा बड़े। डाउन बज रहे आपस में। अभी तो मेन चैलेंज तो रह गया।
कई लोग मेरे से खुश भी है कि भाई हाँ देखो मतलब एक लेडी होके इतना सब कुछ कर रही है, मतलब तो कोई तो मतलब हमें नेगेटिव वो भी देते हैं कि भाई हाँ क्यों भाग रही है इतना, अपना टांगे क्यों तोड़ रही है, तो क्या मिलता है। कोई तो मेरे सामने आके भी बोलते हैं कि भाई हाँ तेरे को क्या हो गया, मतलब कोई तो ये इवन यहाँ तक बोलते कि इसको कुछ फ़र्क तो नहीं पड़ गया कि मतलब सुबह शाम भागते रहती है, घर का काम नहीं करती होगी, इसको घर का और काम नहीं होता होगा, इसको ये भागते रहती है। मैं एक मैसेज देना चाहती हूँ सारी लड़कियों को कि जब मैं भाग सकती हूँ तो तुम लोग क्यों नहीं। तो मैं वही बोलती हूँ कि भाई लड़कियों को भी अपनी एक लाइफ होती है, वो भी एक जीना चाहिए। वो नहीं कि भाई मतलब घर के अंदर ही घुट के रहो या वो लोग दबाएंगे तो उनके पीछे दब के रहो, वैसा नहीं। तो इसीलिए मैं कभी गिव अप नहीं करूँगी, इतना मुश्किलों का सामना करना क्यों ना पड़े, बट मैं ये चीज़ों को नहीं छोड़ूंगी।
There's always kind of been that hesitation of like, well, we don't want people to know because that will discredit us in our professional lives. Day to day at our work can be scary, but what happened a year ago was scarier in a way that we've never experienced before. Ooh, the SBR.
Yep, I figured I'd go with that one this time.
Not the stray bug?
No. Definitely not.
Going squatching started out just being a fun way for two friends to hang out and look for Bigfoot. Didn't take us very long to realize Bigfoot wasn't the only thing out in the woods.
I don't know, it's weird to me because you come out here looking for stuff like this and then you find something, right? You actually see something that, you know, okay, Bigfoot, sure, you've got stories of Bigfoot, but the Wendigo, like in my mind, that was something that could not exist.
I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah. So when you actually see this thing, you're just like, holy shit, like this is real. There's something out here.
Yeah, what we saw that night was not like anything I had ever seen before. 8 foot tall, gray, backward knees, like goat legs, big hinging jaw, almost like Venom from Spider-Man. And then his eyes were so sunk in its skull. He just had these white lights peering from this dark holes where the eyes should be. Never seen anything like that before, and definitely didn't expect it to be 30 yards away from me looking right at me. We've always wondered what it would be like to go back to that same spot. Every time we do, we always end up chickening out or come up with another excuse not to go, but I guess we'll find out tonight. Get your eyes on it. I want to make sure something smashed and was going this way. It's not smashed here, but it's smashed there.
Well, this side here kind of looks like a footprint, like right there.
Yeah, kind of does. What's that? I think that's just ear poop.
Don't touch it.
Well, I'm not gonna not touch it.
Well, you should not
Look,
touch it.
it's not little balls. Is it persimmons? Oh, it stuck to my finger.
So I love the fact that he's still touching it after you used the word slimy.
It ate a natural diet.
Yeah.
So we were parked just like where we are right here. We were actually shining our lights this way, and we could see stuff, I don't know, 20 yards in some of those trees back there. I don't know, it almost looked like a face kind of pop up. Enough where it intrigued us to be like, what is that? And we kept on going further and further until we got to the point where like I couldn't see the back of the Jeep anymore. And I'm like, I don't know these woods. I don't know this trail. And that we were kind of getting off the trail a bit. So that's when we came back, and it was about 30 yards to the left, back of the gravel the way we came. But pulled up to the road, and just instinctively I looked to the left, and standing right about where that tree is, right there in the middle of the road. So we tore off to the right, and we were throwing rocks behind us, a big old rooster tail. We were just giving it all we could, and it had caught up to us from all the way over here and got up to the passenger side of the Jeep, like up to the back window. He was crying. He was sitting on my, like about sitting on my lap, trying to turn around and get his rifle out the window. I'm freaking out. I'm like, I don't even know what that thing was, but whatever it was, didn't want us there. Drove like crazy until we hit pavement. Once we got back to town, that's when we stopped and we're like, what was that? That's kind of where our debrief was. It feels good to come out here and not to sound childish, but not to be afraid of what happened last time, almost like getting back on the horse. We started off kind of hesitant at first because we're like, we don't want people to think we're crazy, but I think it gives me confidence because I'm like, I went out looking for something and I found, not what I was looking for, but I found something. Maybe we can start enjoying being back in those woods again, not having to worry about what happened the time before.
If you've entered civil resistance, it's because you're pretty terrified of what's happening to our planet. There's countless reports from numerous scientific bodies telling us what peril we're in. And the really scary thing is a lot of their predictions are coming true much quicker than was expected.
Here they are, causing chaos.
The Guardian reading, tofu eating, woe karate.
Plans to increase the maximum penalties for disrupting a motorway.
For 40 years we've been pissing around at the edges of actually bringing about the change that we know needs to happen. And we're still consuming more fossil fuels than we ever have. And that's because, as much as we would like it to be the case, we're not going to recycle our way out of this. So what do people like you and I do? Yeah, I'm Cameron. I work as a carpenter. I'm helping build these passive houses at the moment. I've been arrested about half a dozen times, I think. But I've been out on action a lot more than that, not always in an arrestable situation. When I was arrested for the first time, I felt absolutely like I was doing the right thing. I was with people who I'd only really recently met, but I trusted them. There's something really powerful when you cross that line of what is the status quo of okay, and to be an interruption, to break the law, passes that threshold. You know, we are normal people. I didn't grow up, you know, chaining myself to trees.
He's ripping my hand. He's tearing my hand off.
I'm doing this because I'm desperate. We have run out of options. I mean, the recent decisions to continue digging up fossil fuels is just mental. We're not the ones who are mental. We're just desperate. We're pissing a lot of people off because we're telling them about something they really don't want to know about, and we're doing it in a way that interrupts people's day-to-day lives.
That's it, bro.
Unless something changes, we've got...
Just Stop Oil doesn't need everybody to get on board and do what we're doing. You look at the Netherlands, 9,000 people arrested over the last month, blocking a motorway day after day. The police said, we can't police this anymore. And the government caved and they decided to much quicker get off of fossil fuels than they were planning before those protests. 9,000 people. I think we could find 9,000 people in this country that do support us. Our society loves civil disobedience, but only if it happened in the past or somewhere else. There's loads of famous movements that we know about that have entered civil resistance. We've got Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks breaking the law of segregation. We've got the suffragettes. I mean, we have a statue of the suffragette meters away from where I was arrested. And they were vilified in the same way that we are. Yet now we have statues of them.
You're lucky I don't smack you fucking around a bit, you know what I mean? You don't deserve to live.
People, those poor people to film that.
You are worthless. You should be dead. Just stop fuckwits. You have no intelligence, you would have a negative IQ, and you're unfit to breathe.
It's this hindsight that's beautiful. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, they say, because you can look back and you can go, oh yeah, we should have done it this way, we should have listened to them. But with the climate crisis, you're not going to get that opportunity for hindsight. If they don't listen to us now, there will be no time and place to have hindsight.
Today, whilst I was at work, Just Stop Oil were slow marching outside Parliament, and there were over 60 arrests, and they've now been taken to police stations throughout London. So I've come over here to do a shift on police station support for the evening. Just being there with some chocolate and some juice and welcome them out and make sure that they are doing okay and that they can get home safe.
Just Stop Oil broke into oil terminals. I de-locked my neck to a tanker. Media didn't really pay attention to it. It's behind closed doors. The activist paradox is, if you go for something very targeted, then more often than not, you get no media interest.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, I just got out. I just wanted to let you know that I'll be heading back, but I don't want to be there. I don't want to, like, wake you up and stuff. Well, I mean, I might have to, but you know what I mean. Just letting you know.
The punishments for going to the oil terminals are far greater than for protesting on the streets. So we're backed into a corner where we can't go to the places that we should be going to. It's ineffective in the media's eyes because they don't pay interest to it, and the costs are so much higher.
And then I want to talk to my boyfriend, to be honest.
Do you want to call him?
Yeah.
Do you want to use my phone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just Stop Oil want to see a serious transition away from fossil fuels. And the key is transition. We're not looking to have the taps turned off right away. People would die. But we need to say that we're not going to dig up any more of it. And that will encourage business to bring about the innovation that we will need to get off of fossil fuels.
Would you like some tea or?
I'd love a cup of tea.
Hey.
I'm Cameron.
Hi Cameron, how you doing?
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, my life has been consumed by this. It's hard to continue engaging with the normal world and do normal things. I've got a criminal record now. I've taken a lot of time off work. I'm self-employed. I don't get holiday pay for taking effectively months out of work to be in civil resistance.
So lovely of you to come.
We're all in it together.
I know, it's wonderful.
But the things I've gained are just far outweigh that. I'm in a wonderful community of people who have turned towards the crisis with a sense of active hope and empowerment, and their part as a global citizen in all of this. And yeah, they can throw at us what they like. We've got proper community and proper hope.
I knew there was a difference between me and someone who wasn't constantly preoccupied with a thing that they did. I remember listening and eavesdropping while this teacher came to my house and talked to my parents one night, and she said, I want Dale to keep on playing. She's special. She has a special talent. She has, I haven't seen this in kids her age, you know, so all this shit. And I'm going, no, God, no, this is terrible. This is a plot, lady, get out of our house, you know. But of course I couldn't do any of that. I already didn't like it. Not only now did I feel like it was a conspiracy because she had talked my parents into keeping me on the violin. My sister got to quit. I still had to do it. And now she was ruining my summer. Literally ruining my life. I just wanted to go out and play. That's what I wanted to do. And somehow, by the time I was 16 years old, violin was my life. So the last thing I expected was to start having some weird urge that I had to play the viola. And I kept on not listening to it and not listening to that voice, and it got louder and louder, and the urge got stronger and stronger. And then one day in rehearsal with the orchestra, the voice in me that I have ignored goes, play the viola. And I'm thinking, oh my God. I know that that's not real, but it's like, you know, the voice of God thing. I'm losing my mind. And I picked it up and played one note. And then I realized that my heart had wings. This was my soul's voice. This was the instrument that I was meant to play. I was the first woman that had ever infiltrated the ranks of the viola section in the Los Angeles Philharmonic. Half of them were elderly white men. They didn't take kindly to a woman. They didn't take kindly to the fact that I was coming from the violin section. Never recommend this kind of change. You know, to change instruments, once you've made it to the big time, nobody does that. So there is a ring of destiny. The fact that I practiced every spare waking minute is how I got there. In a way, it's like in football. One of the things about Tom Brady is his devotion and discipline to using his body as the instrument. To hone it, to craft it, to perfect it for what he needed it to do. Maybe that's what it is about cleaning, obviously practicing, doing the puzzle. I mean, in a weird kind of way, they're all forms of work. Does it justify my existence in a way that I did that? That I cleaned that? In some little tiny, tiny, tiny way it does. I was in the Los Angeles Philharmonic for 43 years, and I was acting principal for around 15 years. It was blood, sweat, and tears because you're so busy doing the work. You're always concerned with what are we playing next week, what are we playing the week after that, operas, chamber music, regular repertoire, Brahms, Beethoven, Mozart, Stravinsky, Shostakovich. You've got a million notes going on in your head, categorizing what do I have to start working on, what is going to require the most work, what kind of work is this piece going to require of me. This constant juggling, and to have all those concerts that week and to try and have a family and just be a normal human being, it's a lot. That much performance does take a toll. I retired a year and 3 months ago. For the past year, I'd wake up in the middle of the night in a panic because how come I don't know what we're playing this week? Oh, I don't have to be. It's scary and it's wonderfully liberating. Everything is being being led adrift. When people have posed that question to me of, I've never played an instrument, what's that like? Then maybe I want to go, well, it's like you have a friend your whole life. You always have something there. You always have it. If your work isn't your passion, it would just seem like there would be a big void. And so that's, to me, what Chagall meant when he said, everything is about work. But the center of that is that in the absolute final analysis of life, if you ask me, the only thing that matters is love. But that comes out of the love of your work, the love of life, the love of your family, the love of others, love of humankind. Love is actually the only thing that matters. It was better than yesterday, don't you think?
I think it sounds gorgeous.
I like the things I did with it. It's still sort of hard to play, but at least I feel better about it.
I've thought about leaving a bunch of times, actually quite often this past couple of years. Like, it's just been a lot with, personal stuff, and then COVID on top of that. And then just doing anything here is really difficult. Like, everything's just hard. And so I think to myself, I could go somewhere where it's easier, where people speak English, where I'm not responsible for anybody but myself. And it would be so much easier. But then that involves me leaving them, and then that gets hard. The whole point of this is empowering them to go on and be good ethical, talented people who make a change in the world. And so them graduating clearly is accomplishing that. The problem is then they have to go, and that's the tricky part.
Today I will congratulate.
Coca-Cola. Yes, here. So much honey, yeah.
Thank you, teacher.
No problem.
I wasn't in a good space last year. I was not okay. I'm going through this rather messy divorce, which has been the result of many, many years of an abusive marriage. You never think you're going to be one of those girls that's in one of these relationships because you're just like, yeah, if I was in that relationship, I would just leave. It's not as easy as that. And the thing is, because we all live in the same space, like, they were all kind of going through it with me. Yeah, the kids got me through that.
So apparently they're giving me gifts. I'm not entirely sure what's up with this. Because that's not normal. Second medals. Put them in my energy.
What do you make?
Are you serious?
Yes. Yes.
What? Really? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna lose my mind now. Thank you. Okay, give me a second. I'll pull apart. Tangin niya na mag-e. Tingnan niyo siya. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Joanne painted this for me. It's all the kids. I shouldn't have put mascara on. Remind me next time I have kids graduating. Oh my goodness.
자, 내가 가서 사서 인터뷰다. 뭐 이렇게 되지? 아는 게 좀 그렇게.
Because we're such a small group, I think, everybody has their own energy, their own kind of vibe. Anytime somebody leaves or comes, it's slightly terrifying and slightly exciting all at once. So we'll see. This new girl, bless her, how she goes. She seems like she'll be okay.
It is just not letting up.
No.
Not too much further. Be a pretty good check off the list, this one.
It's too bad you didn't live closer.
I know. But it's worth it.
So do you think if you got one that you would have left it in the box?
As a kid?
Yeah.
No way.
As a kid?
No,
way.
I tore it all with the frizz?
No.
No way. No, I threw out all that crap as a kid. And I probably, like, I don't even want to get it in the box now just because I don't want to, you know, keep it packed up.
Yeah.
Why would you want to just look at a box? Hello.
So you've never met him before?
No, just spoke to him on the phone. I'm pretty interested to take a look up close at what he has there. So.
Yeah, it could be actually pretty wild.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Is it pretty big?
Yeah. It's something like, I haven't actually seen one in person like since I was a kid, so
Oh, wow.
we'll see. Maybe it won't look as big now as I remember it. I think he said blue car with white stripes in the driveway. That's got to be it right there. Hey, Jonathan.
How are ya? Come on in,
Good,
guys.
thanks.
Bernard, is it?
Yeah. I go by my middle name, Ian.
Ian, nice
yeah,
to meet
and
you,
this is
Ian.
Tasha.
Hello, Tasha.
Yeah,
How are you?
how you doing?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a collection of the 80s, 90s?
Yeah, it's mostly 80s and 90s, yeah, with
Very cool.
like some stuff from the late 70s and stuff from pop culture from that time period.
It's like you're walking into a time portal.
Exactly,
you know? It's like,
right.
whoa,
Yeah,
back to the
that's-
80s.
that's right, yeah.
Wicked. But you know what? They were the best times. It
Yeah.
was when toys were really cool, more intricate, you know? They were just natural, they're real.
Yeah.
You don't need batteries and lights to have
Yeah.
fun with it. It was just naturally cool the way it was.
Right.
So, you know, I've been collecting since 1996. You know, everything has kind of its unique story, how I acquired it. Most of the time I remember it, but...
Had all the pit crew guys and everything.
Oh, yeah. Some collectors like to just keep them in the box,
Right.
preserve them, and like never let them see the light of day. And for me, it's not about
I know.
that. You gotta
I love
look
that
at
you
them.
have them out of the box.
You gotta. I think there's a perfect addition ready for your room. I think
bring it out.
I think there is an absolutely
Yeah.
wonderful, perfect addition.
Oh
the
my-
creme de la creme.
It's bigger than I remember.
The creme de la creme of toys.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen one in like, and you know, I go to toy shows occasionally and stuff, and I've been keeping my eye, and I just haven't come across one. So like,
well,
oh my God,
it
that's
opens
so
up
cool.
left and right side here. We got 1 and 2.
I am just pumped on this thing though. It might be too big even for the spot I was thinking about.
Just don't do what I did and keep it in a box.
No,
Give it life.
It'll be out, yeah.
I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. It's just if it goes to a home that somebody actually cares and looks at and gets awed by it. So let me show you the other stuff I got too.
So of course you couldn't just tackle the technodrome unless you had the party ready.
They are starting to launch! Not if I can help it.
Probably the biggest thing is just the risk. I mean, you can work all year to see one weather event at this time of year to take all the profit away. And be okay with that and have enough optimism and outlook on life to do the same exact thing next year with the same exact result possible. I'm not sure how you'd describe that, but that's not for everybody. The margin is so much smaller and the risk is so much greater. It's like risk management, not farming. So when the weather is good, you have to take advantage of it. I think getting going in the morning is just kind of anticipation of, what really is the crop out there. If there's a spot in the middle that's completely drowned out or gone, or the deer have ate it, or, you just really can't tell until you get into it. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. It's always even numbers. So the ear will always do 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, I think is the highest I've ever seen. And then so basically it feeds it to a spot that it gets rubbed off like this, and basically falls into the bottom of the combine and then gets carried up into the grain tank so we can take it out. It's not always easy to flip the switch to go football and farming because it's a busy time of season for farming. That cleared out, then they ran both guys across, you see that? And then they flared the back out of the backfield. It's probably what I struggle with the most, because now, we've waited. Yesterday we had to quit, because it was raining, and now the sun is out, and pretty soon we need to be farming. So like you need to flip the switch then and go back into farming mode, because otherwise we would never get it done.
Get depth now, get depth, get depth, get depth.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think anything's changed, but we're gonna come out, try to get going around 11, probably be closer to noon actually before we get going. So, all right, sounds good. Tim should be there. He can tell you when to leave for the field. Bye. Farming can be all-consuming. Like you will never get the work done in the amount of time that you have to do it. And so football's kind of provided a balance. Even though we're up against the weather, we're up against the clock, all the things we got going on, there still is other things that are more important than that. And that's kind of the whole key, I would say.
Just to recap, that's got plenty of room. We don't even have to think about that as far as getting full tonight. Yeah, roger that. Should get done around midnight tonight, yeah.
Great end to the season. Looking forward to next year already, you know. Farming is a challenging journey personally, because you take on so much and you think there's so much you can do what you can. So I need to do that to the best of my abilities. But ultimately, God's in control, and I need to be okay with that.
The first place award, the Olympia gold medal, the check for $50,000 is entitled Past Olympia champion to our winner. And
every year brings new challenges. This year certainly hasn't been short of them. I toss and turn at night, stuck in my thoughts, staring at the ceiling, asking myself, why am I doing this? Is any of this even worth it? It feels like every time I get into a good groove, everything falls apart. Every year I've been tested. Why did I think this year would be different? I've worked hard over the years to be more present and enjoy this beautiful journey I'm on, but this year is testing me. Extreme life changes, living in fear, health scares, injuries, personal stress, more and more responsibilities. It's funny, the more difficult your goals become, the more challenges life throws at you. When you need focus the most, it's hardest to get. I started my bodybuilding career without a care in the world, just an impossible goal I was chasing. Now that I've achieved that goal, it feels even harder to hold on to. What was once impossible is now what's expected of me. What was once a dream is now a crushing weight on my shoulders. But I lie here wondering, who am I to feel sorry for myself? Have I not worked hard every day to earn these pressures? Has life not tested me again and again to prepare me for this? The choice is mine. Either get back to work or I quit. I never wanted an easy life. I wanted the strength to earn a life worth living. I've built that strength these past 10 years. The strength to lift this weight off my shoulders. Better yet, I have loved ones who will help me lift that weight. I might doubt myself at times, but I know I have an army behind me of people who believe in me.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
You are amazing.
Here comes the charm.
And I will not let them down. It's time I take a look in the mirror. Slow the fuck down. I've long surpassed what was just a dream only years ago. I need to broaden my view. Stop focusing on what's going wrong. Focus on what I can make right. Focus on what matters most to me, not the expectations of others. Focus on my effort, not the result. My integrity, the people I love. And remember, I love this shit. Enjoy the damn process. One, 2, 3, 4 Olympia titles felt hard. Welcome to level 5. You're gonna earn this shit. It's your choice to enjoy it or drown in it. I hate losing, but I will not become a product of circumstance. I will not let an outcome dictate my happiness. When my time is up, the trophies on my shelves will be but a reminder that I had a goal. And I can honestly tell myself I did everything in my power to achieve that goal. I worked hard to become a better man along the way. I built relationships to cherish forever. I enjoyed the damn journey, and I never fucking quit.
When Austin was diagnosed with autism, I thought my life was over. All those hopes and dreams that I had for my son, they disappeared. Watching Austin grow up through the school system and seeing the bullying that he was forced to endure just for being different was really hard to watch. Having him come home in the winter time with only one winter boot and one shoe just because somebody thought it'd be a good joke to hide his other winter boot or take his jacket, so he had to come home without a jacket, and to drive by, the school at lunch or recess and just seeing Austin standing in the middle of the soccer field with no one to play with just because he's different. It's not the way school's meant to be for kids. We eventually convinced Austin to try go-karting. And the first time we got Austin in a go-kart, when they waved the checkered flag for him to come off, he wouldn't. I was near my breaking point, watching him disobey all the marshals, looking around at the other parents, looking at me, thinking, why don't you do something about your kid? I had to do the walk of shame out onto the track I can remember vividly how angry and frustrated I was. And when Austin came around and stopped in front of me, I was about to explode. And then I saw the biggest smile inside of his helmet. And it was at that moment that I knew that we had found something.
First time I hopped in a go-kart, I felt like I belonged. I didn't come off because I enjoyed it so much. I never wanted it to end. I also, to be fair, didn't know what the checkered flag was at the time, so that was also a part of it.
In hindsight, we should have known earlier that this was a better option for him, as his first word wasn't Mom or Dad, it was Ferrari. Austin didn't just race, he won. He went on to race pro in the Radical Cup Series.
Outside of a race car, for my day-to-day life is very stressful and very anxious. I have to be around people, I have to interact with the world, and when I'm inside the race car, I feel like I don't even have autism because my whole mind is set on racing and everything in my thoughts in my head just disappear.
Currently, at the level Austin is racing, we are spending almost what it costs you to put your kids through college or university every weekend. So the last race of the season this year was in California, at Laguna Seca. We were already very low on funds. We had to do some fundraising to actually get to the race, only for a car in front of him to have a mechanical failure and drop a bunch of fluid onto the track with Austin, which caused him to spin out of control in one of the fastest turns, doing significant damage to the car. When you don't have any other sponsorship income coming in, it really makes for a bleak outlook and has caused a lot of anxiety between myself and Austin. I know this wasn't the happy ending everybody was expecting, but unfortunately, that's our reality right now, and I'm not sure how we're going to move forward. If indeed this is the end, would I do it all again? Yeah, in a heartbeat. To think that Austin could hold down a job, could buy his own car, to be able to travel by himself, to be able to meet new people, to be able to speak in front of an audience, those are all things I never thought were possible even a few years ago. Motorsports has given Austin the one thing he never had everywhere else in life, and that's acceptance. And I'm thankful for that. When Austin was diagnosed with autism, I thought our lives were over. I was wrong. They were just beginning.
Austin, what's your favorite movie?
I'm not sure what to do with my hands. Talladega Nights.
Austin, what do you want to do for the rest of your life?
I want to go fast.
I'm very fond of my past. We moved in this house in 1973. I felt that this was like a palace. I had 3 lovely children and a lot of fond memories of having a meal with them. One day, while we're sitting there all together, and I looked at them and said, "Today is a beautiful day with all my family, but that's not gonna last. They're all gonna go on their own." Richard got married first and got Alexander and Brittany, a boy and a girl. And then Beverly got married after that, and she had two little girls. Priscilla, well, she never really got married. She just stayed single. When the kids leave, you know, like it wasn't good. I cried missing them, you know, all of them. The kids used to come over, especially Beverly's children. Nicole and Chantel, they had them over sometimes for a week. Nicole got so close to her pa. Pa was number one. My husband, he was my best friend. He was so kind and loving, and he always was there to help me, always. When I went to work, he couldn't work, he always cooked and did laundry. When I used to come home, music playing, coffee going. We used to always have a coffee break, my husband and I, and you know, we were kind of talking stuff. This was his chair, yeah, I'd sit over there. As life went on and he got ill, you know, it wasn't very easy. Roland's pain was so severe. He went through hell and back for about a good 15 years, in and out of hospital. Last time, the hospital phoned me. All I could think about, they put him in another room, and he doesn't like that. He probably wants to come home. So I brought his clothes, and I said, I'll go pick him up a coffee too, make him feel okay. But when I went to his room, he wasn't there. After my husband died, I gave myself to God. 5 days, Sundays and Tuesday to Friday, I go to church in the morning. I do a lot of things at the church. I volunteer for different things, you know, and I made my life. There's always something to do, you know, some cleaning, fixing something, garden, cutting the grass. I live outside all summer. A really big gardener, yeah. Every year, this year was my last year, right? This is my last year, and Priscilla had told me, she says, Mom, you make the best garden you ever did. I managed to take care of this place the best I could. Keeps me busy. So I guess it got me so busy so much for so many years, I can't stop. I'm still busy. But I'm getting older too. I'm looking forward to moving, and yet I'm gonna miss this place. It's a bittersweet. There's the memories. There's the memories of your whole life, your every moment when you wake up till you go to bed, and good and bad, you know. My husband, he decorated everything. He did this. And he did all the wood there, and also in the wall there, all that, he did that. There's a spice rack that he built in there. I'll be bringing that, because this house is like rollies here, everything around is rolly, you know, and it's always been there. It's like it's comfort here. I have comfort here. I'm not alone. I don't feel lonely. Never did.
Name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Bless us, O Lord. These are gifts I'm about to partake. Your bounty, Christ the Lord. Amen. Thank you for a good day. Bless my family, relatives, and friends. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
This home was my home. I loved it. A lot of memories.
Thank you, Nicole. Love you.
I think I'm ready because I'm thinking of the future. I think I'm ready.
Yeah, I only planted those maybe 2 months ago. Now, look at this. Just in time for autumn harvest.
Oh my God.
My purpose is to have people realize that we need to grow food on every little possible land we can. In 2013, that's when the city put in the roundabouts along Mahon. And there was just dirt. I felt enticed to go and plant something into it. I was questioned whether anything will ever grow out of it. And then the winter came, and the next spring, and everything started to blossom and to bloom, and that was such a hope for the neighborhood and for myself too, because you don't know whether it's going to work out.
As a young person, I'd wanted to move into the hills and grow my own vegetables and have goats and chickens and things like that, but life just didn't do that. One day, I was walking along, and there's this little woman with this funky hat, and she is in the compost. Like, she is seriously in the compost. And I'm like, oh, I think I might have a kindred spirit here.
It's time to have a little look here. So remember when we started all of this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, it was just lawn. There was nothing here but lawn. But it was January, and it reminds me.
I'm praying for a garden mentor. She says, I can help you with that. I have volunteers on Saturday. There's probably 5 or 6 of us there, and we're clipping and we're talking, and we look at each other, and we spontaneously lost it. It was just joyful. It was fun. Ruth has said, you need to move this back garden up front. Got some nice space here, and I'm like, ooh, don't want to do that. You know, have you seen my garden? I do not want to do that up front. I'm working really hard. I'm trying to make this happen, but it's not really happening. She's like, no, you need to do this. You're going to be so sad if you don't do this, because you're going to miss out. So I put my dirty clothes on. We're flipping tiles. We're making a garden.
I was really intimidated, but you know, of course, gardening, it starts, but it never really then ends.
You feel so excited when something you planted, it comes and starts to sprout and then brings something back to you. I think that in itself is just the most powerful thing. And I'm happy to guide and teach and show. And so are the volunteers.
hope that it gets dark soon.
Thank you. Yes, sure.
Thank you, everybody. Wow. The biggest birthday party ever. I'm 65. I don't know how many people are here, but maybe 65. So thank you. One for each year. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
I think she's given me the courage in many places. Beyond the garden. But she doesn't call it courage, she calls it life. All right? Just go, just do it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I will. Now I'm going to count to 3 and then we walk towards the roundabout. 1, 2, 3.
The task is of us to find each other and to help to transform this earth. I don't expect everybody going out there and dig. That's not the point. The point is that we start caring, admiring the flowers, and have gratitude. Just imagine what that does.